We're in a hospital. The Second Clinical Medical College of Army Medical University. Hey everybody, it's Alex here. Look at the size of that. Well, these are big buildings. Not just that building, it's that one too. Why am I here? Well, I'm here because a colleague injured himself. His name is James. You've seen him on the channel many a times, James Vlog. Well, let's ask him what his experience is. He's a foreigner, he's a British guy, and he's in his mid-40s. Let's go check him out and see what he's up to. Well, this is an inside look. Have a look at this. Wow, this is a 19th floor hospital here with lots of stuff going on here. Wow, look at this. Have a look at this. I don't know if these are the nurses preparing for a shift, but you can see them all lined up there, ready to go. We're getting into the elevator. We're going up to the 18th floor. Now I'm here in the elevator about to get off on James's floor, and I'm looking here. A lot of crowd of doctors here in Chongqing. Have a look here. Let's see how well our comrade is doing here. James is in room 98, I believe 98. And there he is. He's got a little bit of company today, but that's okay. Here he is there. Number 98. Well, all the workmates. Let's go have a look. James, are you okay to be on camera?
Yeah, I'm not looking pretty.
You look amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna hand this over to James. He's gonna tell us about his experience. What happened?
Okay, let's do an exchange. You can hold my coffee. I've got one for you as well. It was a very rainy day, and I was about to appear on camera. I was walking down a set of stone slabs. My right foot kind of stepped on a piece of wet moss. Before I knew it, my right leg went right forward. I fell straight back, and basically my whole body weight, landed on my left elbow. I did have some colleagues with me, and some of the local officials and all that.
You fell, you slipped, and how far that was out of the city where we are now? Because we're in Chongqing.
Oh man, well, Guangzhou. It's over 300 kilometers. It took us like about an hour and a bit on the high-speed train. But that location was like another half an hour drive out of the city, up the mountain, next to the airport. Actually, my first stop was one of the Chinese medical hospitals in the city. Very quickly they organised, a car to come and pick me up. I got in. Of course, these rides weren't all that nice, because every time we went over a pothole, a bump or something like that, all the bones move around. And it gets a bit painful. But I stayed in that local hospital for about 3 hours. They gave me like an x-ray. One of the doctors there, really nice guy, he gave me a bit of local anaesthetic. Then he got his hands out, he grabbed my arm, he was kind of like putting all of those bones back where they should be. Bandaged it all up.
Wow.
And then for the next hour or two, a lot of my colleagues and also the doctors at that hospital recommended I come to this hospital, the Xinxiao military hospital in Chongqing. Yeah, maybe the top doctors in this field are based here.
So I've got some statistics here on hospitals. At the end of 2023, there was a total of 1 million healthcare facilities in China. 39,000 of them were registered hospitals, 12,000 of them were public hospitals, and 27,000 of them were private hospitals. The hospital system here in China is predominantly publicly funded and operated, with the government playing a significant role and regulating the healthcare services and financing. Patients generally pay out of pocket for medical services, although various insurance schemes are available to help cover the costs. So some minor costs are paid for the people here. You can actually see the breaks here and the bones. That would be the elbow, I guess the elbow bone here, and then there's the fracture right there, another bone going.
So I go on these 2 bottles, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. My understanding is it's mostly about getting the swelling down in my arm. Yeah, and I kind of like the way they've got this special IV needle that just stays in your arm all the time.
We're going to take him for a walk. We've got him up and moving about. And, well, we have something interesting here. This is letters to the nurses and doctors, or what is it?
Like a gratitude message board. So they've got lots of the ex-patients who have left the hospital. They've left these messages here. Just basically kind words thanking the doctors and the nurses for looking after them well. And Lucky has already suggested that when I leave and I can write something in English, and this has been like so good to me over the past week. It really helped keep me in good shape and in a good mood. I'll probably write one myself when the time comes, hopefully, when I can go home.
This is a big hospital, just to show you the size of it. Anyway, we're going to go outside. James, a couple thousand people in the hospital, huh?
Yeah, a few thousand, staff here, doctors, nurses. And another thing I find really interesting as well is that this hospital is a military hospital.
Right.
All right, so I think the idea is that in times of peace, which has been like the past couple of decades, it will serve the public. But if theoretically there was a war going on, then I think the understanding is they would close it to the public and just serve treat military personnel.
What do you got to say, James? Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm really happy to be outside. The first time in a whole week, get some fresh air. The weather's been pretty rotten. I do have a look out of the window. It's been a bit rough the past week, but I really love how they've landscaped this little area in the middle.
The experience of hospitals here is much different than experience of hospitals in other countries. Of course, there are emergency entrances here, emergency wards, trauma, but for most part here, and in the Chinese culture, there's a sense of calm. You can feel it. This is a massive hospital. And you got to remember, in this country also, they have other types of medicine, Chinese medicine. I'm sure you've heard about it. And this is a modern hospital here in China. Modern hospital here in China.
Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we last saw each other on the hospital ward, so I want to take this opportunity to fill you in on what's happened during the time in between. Well, my entire hospital stay lasted for about 16 days. I was also fortunate to have an excellent team of surgeons led by Dr. Hao, and they spent about 5 hours to reconstruct my left elbow joint, and they even managed to piece together all of those bone fragments. And the doctors reminded me that I have to keep exercising my left hand and fingers so that the mobility slowly comes back over the next few weeks. I've now been back home about 10 days, and although it's nice to be in familiar surroundings, it hasn't always been plain sailing. My left arm is still a bit sore, and sleeping at night has been a bit difficult. But all the same, I do feel that I am improving day by day, and fingers crossed, if the bone joint has healed well enough, I'll be able to do a second operation after 1 year, and they'll take out the braces and the screws for me. If I had to summarise the whole experience, of course the injury itself has been terrible, but at the same time there have also been a lot of positives. The hospital staff were fantastic for me from start to finish. I had a lot of visits from friends, family and colleagues who really helped cheer me up. And also I want to pay a special word for my wife and mother-in-law who took turns to look after me 24 hours a day during the whole hospital stay. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.